Johnson. Rian Craig Johnson. Born December 17th, 1973. Now currently 44 years of age. The director of The Last Jedi. The 8th installment in the Skywalker saga. This Tier 1 director of an episode of one of the greatest franchises ever made in cinematic history now seems to be threatened by speculative YouTubers. I'm, of course, talking about Mike Zero. Mike Zero is, of course, a YouTuber who goes on daily to make videos on speculation, theory, and ideas for what Star Wars movies are probably going to be. Now, while he is not completely accurate, he is a fan, a very avid fan, a very devoted fan, and a very forgiving fan. But Rian Craig Johnson, the director of The Last Jedi, a man in charge of a $200 million budget, is now threatened by a young man who runs a YouTube channel that probably has a budget of no more than $1,000 a year. It's time for this professional bullshitter to release the bulls, and I hope they shit all over the head of this cocky, arrogant, pretentious little fuck.
Oh my god. There's shit everywhere! There's shit on the windows! Oh my god! My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did! He shit all over the wall!
Mike Zero. Modest YouTuber with around 140,000 subscribers, spends most of his day uploading videos on speculation, news, and theory of upcoming Star Wars movies. He is by no means a powerhouse. He is by no means a driver of the story elements that happen in the Lucasfilm story group. He is merely a fan who likes to speculate on what the next Star Wars movie might be, or report on news that he has heard through the grapevine, regardless of his sources. But it turns out that Rian Johnson has had his eye on this young man for quite some time, and has, on many occasions, openly been derogatory toward him. In fact, using his name as a joke around the office. Now, while I might poke fun at Mike Zero for his signature opening and signature closing, I do give the guy credit for being consistent. Rian Johnson, a Hollywood director, the director of Episode 8, Star Wars The Last Jedi, decided to go on social media and taunt this kid. Even during the release of the prequels, I never once remember George Lucas going on a forum board, going on television during an interview, and openly mocking people who criticized his film, because George Lucas has fucking class. Rian Johnson is a feckless little fuck. He is not a true creator. George Lucas is a creator, and Rian Johnson was the doctor performing the abortion on the impregnation of Star Wars upon Disney. He turned something gentle, beautiful, and with so much potential into a lifeless mass on top of a tray. And now we're all standing as unified Star Wars fans going, what now? Look what he did to what we loved. Look what he did to what we had hope in. Rian Johnson has no hope. Rian Johnson has no courage. Rian Johnson is a scared child. A child who has been let down his whole life. More than likely, a victim of the trophy mentality that has been passed down to our children by the rest of this society. That they are all special, and no matter what, they can be whatever they want. Well, newsflash, kids. If you don't aim for greatness, you aim for failure. There is no middle ground. You don't get a trophy for just doing your job. And Rian Johnson's job was to direct a Star Wars movie. Now that is the first place trophy among Hollywood directors and writers. All young Hollywood directors and writers dream of being able to write and direct a Star Wars movie. All of them have since they were children. Just like every ball player who steps up to the plate in a major league game dreams of hitting that grand slam in the bottom of the ninth to win the game, coming back 3 runs down. You better dream of that. You better dream of that moment. If you want to achieve greatness in any field, you better dream of that glorious moment of success. But Rian Johnson's idea of success is subversion. Sometimes I wonder if Rian Johnson marches into the bedroom with his wife in bed, and he has a raging hard 4-inch boner, and just before he plunges it in, it goes soft, and he laughs like a little fucking clown going, "I subverted your expectations, didn't I, babe?"
Yeah, that is.
I'm both glad and disheartened that George Lucas is alive to see his creation be completely gutted by this little fuck. I hope to God that when George watched that movie and Rian asked him, "What do you think?" I hope George Lucas looked Rian Johnson dead in the eyes and said these very simple words: "Much to learn you still have." George Lucas created a masterpiece of storytelling. The Iliad of our generation, the Iliad of our millennia, the Odyssey, the hero's journey, manifest in modern-day cinema. And it was a story that was flowing, it evolved, it grew the character. Rian Johnson took the characters established by J.J. Abrams and knocked them back, completely wiped out everything J.J. Abrams did. And for reasons beyond me and my reasoning, J.J. Abrams thought it was bold and idealistic and great, and he wished he could have been the one to do it.
And that little annoyed look to her, Mark. Great, that cut it.
Tell me a little bit about working with Rian.
He's an asshole.
I think what J.J. Abrams meant by that was, I wish they would have given me this movie because I don't like what this little fuck's gonna do to it. And now Rian Johnson is attacking the small guy. He was attacking the fans, the faceless fans on Twitter. That's one thing. Any dickhead with a Twitter account can say whatever the fuck they want, and of course, you're free to respond to it, but of course an adult doesn't respond to it. Rian Johnson is not an adult. Rian Johnson doesn't have confidence. That's why a lot of the supposedly strong characters in The Last Jedi, the characters we think would be strong, like Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren, Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron, they're all weak in that movie. They're all weak. They're all failures. They all fail. And that says something about the director and the writer. If you write characters that fail, apparently the writer is a failure. The director is a failure. The characters were weak because the writer is a weakling. The director is a weakling. Rian Johnson. Ryan Craig Johnson. You are a weakling. And you're a bully. You, from your high position and power, are picking on and bullying the little guy. The guy who can't stand against your word. The guy who can go online, yes, and make videos about you, but Mike Zero has not said one negative thing about you since your little tweet came out. He just continues to do what he's always done. Make videos. In fact, he acts like this controversy is not even taking place. Because he has class. Because he's an adult. And sticks and stones might break his bones, but your words will never hurt him. You may think of him as a man baby. No, motherfucker. You're the man baby. You're the one going on social media and throwing a hissy fit, making fun of someone who is, from your stance and stature, 20 tiers beneath you, at the minimum. Now, I'm not belittling Mike Zero. Mike Zero is a Star Wars fan through and through. You can see it. He loves Star Wars. He wants it to go in exciting places and directions. His ideas of Episode 8 before it came out were great. His theories were great. He wanted it to be good, as all of us did. But when it came out, all that was left in theaters was this sound, and listen closely. Hear that? Hear the crickets? That's all you're ever going to hear after every movie you make, Rian Johnson, is these crickets. Rian Johnson, Ryan Craig Johnson, you're a weakling. You're a sham. You're a shrill. You're a cuck. You're a beta. And you are not worthy of the mantle of a Star Wars director and writer. You're standing in the shoes of giants, and you have the feet of a mouse. You wrote pathetic characters. You wrote a pathetic story that didn't go anywhere. It was just a constant chase to nowhere. A constant chase to subversion. A chase to lackluster. You ended this movie by killing the main hero, by killing the main villain, by not giving any character development to either of your main characters, being Kylo Ren or Rey, by not giving any character development to your supporting cast, such as Poe Dameron, such as Finn, and you introduce a new character, Rose Tico, who only serves to subvert the plot and subvert the heroes. She stopped Finn from saving the Resistance because of love. Now, you could have taken that. You could have taken that idea of love and said, look, the love that she has, her love is just as dangerous as Kylo Ren's hatred. Her love made her act irrationally. Her love made her make a choice that cost lives. You weren't playing with an idea. You were playing with lore, with mythology, with a universe. You were playing with something that has been around almost as long as you have, Rian Johnson. Because it was given to you, you think you can do whatever you want to it. But it's not yours. You didn't make it. It does not belong to you. But it does not belong to the fans completely either. I will agree with that. But you're the last person it should have been put in the hands of. Rian Johnson, you creep the fuck out of me. You seem like a creepy uncle that none of the kids ever go around because their parents tell them, don't go around Uncle Ryan. He's odd. And we don't really trust him. He has a basement, and he takes kids down there and locks them in the freezer. That's the kind of person I think you are. You are a completely subversive, sad, weak, childish little man who gets upset over someone just bringing up a rumor that you don't have a trilogy. And to be honest, Ryan, I don't think you do either. And if you do, I have no faith in the company that hires you. No one bought your movie. Yeah, they went to the theater to see it, but the DVD sales, no one bought it. The toys, no one bought them. You killed Star Wars, almost single-handedly. Congratulations. If that's what you want to have on your mantle, is the head of Star Wars, then you are a great hunter, aren't you? All you do is ruin franchise. All you do is ruin what was once great. Ruin Craig Johnson. I am the professional bullshitter, and because a big-time director's picking on a small-time YouTuber, bullying him, I say it's time for everyone to take to Twitter, to Facebook, to YouTube, and let's bully the fuck out of this bully. And remember, may the Force be with you, always.